What did I just watch? What did I just watch? What's happening, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you. And this is actually the first time I've ever reviewed a pay-per-view live. So let me tell you something. I chose an interesting pay-per-view to review live for the first time on my channel because most of my live reviews I do for pay-per-views have been on my other friends' channels. But tonight I'm going to review this one by myself. So I know a few people were thinking to be involved in the live chat as well. I just got done watching my friend Robbie Kenobi's rant. He did a good job as well, and just a shout out to him as well. But let's talk about SummerSlam. Last night, myself and my friend Daniel Gaizo, we watched NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. Had I high expectations? I was not afraid to have high expectations last night because that show blew everything out of the water with the entrances, the production, the matches. You have fresh matches like Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas, who had an excellent match, and then you have a great tag team match between Sanity and Office of Pain with Sanity winning. Expect that. And then Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly making themselves heard as they're teaming up. Alshbeck and Hideo Itami, great match. I'll be honest, I had a little bit of higher expectations for the match, but it was still great in my opinion. Ember Moon and Asuka stole the show. Bobby Roode and Drew McIntyre, good match. Not the strongest I've been hoping for, but still great. And then the debut of Adam Cole, baby! We were excited. We were all pumped up. And then this morning came. Literally, last night I kept saying, what's SummerSlam? What is SummerSlam? Because last night felt special. Last night was fun. Tonight felt like complete garbage, guys. I'm going to give it to you right there. Tonight felt like complete garbage. Oh. Where do I start with this? I cannot tell you enough that with how... If you guys have watched enough of my rant videos I've done lately with WWE, especially the one I did in response to your channel, Robbie, the main reason why I probably have the WWE is that quote that I shared from CM Punk's podcast. The WWE doesn't do anything to protect the wrestlers. They do things to protect themselves. But it shows that all they care about is themselves. And as I said also in your live chat too, it seems like as long as they're making the money, like the $173 million they make off of Raw each week, put on crappy shows, but as long as they have the money, that's all they care about. They can do whatever they want, but they're still being successful with the money that they have. And tonight just pretty much showed that even on a big event like SummerSlam, they can really just screw up big time. I'm sorry, not saying screw up, purposely fuck us over. I didn't mean to swear up. I'm sorry. Screw us over. But yeah, I'm sorry. I am feeling right now. I am ready just to rant on the show. So I will go through actually because I was a Twitter geek and I actually started posting polls of seeing who and what matches. I included pre-show matches, but I did not watch a pre-show because I was not going to get burned out by watching 2 hours of the pre-show and then hoping just 4 hours of SummerSlam, which that was a plus. We did not go far over 11 o'clock with the time limit as well. And I'm going to just check through the live chat real quick before I get into the actual review of the show. TN Couponer, thank you for the subscription. And yes, Robbie, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 felt more like SummerSlam than SummerSlam did. Yes, Asuka and Ember should have probably been the main event match-wise, but with what happened with Adam Cole debuting, I definitely think that was okay to have it as the main event. And do you think WWE will do this at WrestleMania? Honestly, who knows? You never know. WWE has become so bipolar, I think, these days that one day they'll wake up to things good. Well, actually, it'll depend who's in charge. Road Dogg, you think about it, for the most part, except for, well, Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt was average. Big Enzo, Big Cass, and Big Show, whatever heck you want to even call that. I just can't even think of it right now. That was awful. The Raw Tag Title match was good. I'll give it that. The Raw Women's Championship match was average. The Fatal 4 was good. So I still felt Raw had the upper end on a show. So I felt like we had a little bit of juice in Raw, but SmackDown just did not have anything tonight. Well, except for the U.S. Championship match and the pre-show match. I did not get to watch it, but I heard the SmackDown Tag Championship match was good. But yes, without continuing, let's actually just get into the show and get this over with. So first, I guess the first pre-show match was this random rematch from Raw, the 6-man tag match with Jason Jordan and the Hardys face off against Mr. Raj. I didn't watch the pre-show. I didn't care. I heard rumors that the Barclays Center was pretty empty for this match, which I don't blame them. On my poll on Twitter, only 2 people voted for it, and both people voted for Jordan and the Hardys, but that didn't happen because the Miz Taraj won. Yay, who cares? Moving on. And then the second pre-show match was the Cruiserweight title. We had Akira Tozawa and Neville. This made that match on Raw look pointless. They gave the title right back to Neville. Why? I mean, I have nothing against Neville being champion, but it's just like, what was the point of having that title change on Raw? Now it's made this match on Raw look like a waste, in my opinion. Again, didn't care. We had 4 people vote for on this one, 50-50. Only 2 people voted for who will win the SmackDown Live Tag Champions, but people thought it was going to be the New Day, the Usos. I mean, I heard that, and I think it was, can't remember who said it, but some people think this was their best match in their feud thus far. Why does we have to have a 2-hour pre-show and a 4-hour pay-per-view? I would be drained. You know what? I don't know either. You know, the funny thing was, NXT had just a half-hour pre-show. Remember the days where pre-shows will only be like, half hour, hour maybe, for like, a big 4 pay-per-view? That's just crazy. Hi, Serena. Yeah, the time I will say this, since I did not pay attention to the pre-show much, I didn't really get drained out by the time wise. I would say I felt at least with a decent pace. But anyways, getting back to the Usos, but I heard they had a good match. The Usos won surprisingly, so if it's going to continue, sure. If it was a good match, which I'll probably check it out later, awesome. Let's go for it. But hopefully they actually have a stipulation. I'm thinking like TLC, ladder match. What else? I'm not sure. What type of matches would you guys want to see the New Day and the Usos go at the next pay-per-view? Which I think for SmackDown, I don't think they're going to be having a pay-per-view in September. It looks like they're bringing it straight to Hell in a Cell in October. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I don't think this is going to be built up to a Hell in a Cell match between these 2 teams, but with WWE, you never know. And with Road Dogg, you never know. Which, by the way, Road Dogg, you blocked my good friend Daniel Gaiza on Twitter earlier last night. We're pretty much just openly, honestly saying to him that, hey, this match just proved that wins and losses matter. And also just the fact that you just jokingly said Road Dogg may have been the one who voted for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 being a thumbs down on his Twitter poll. So you know what happens when you block Daniel Gaiza? You know what happens when you can't take constructive criticism, Road Dogg, or fans, just opinions? You know what happens? You just made the list. I just thought of something also about Road Dogg. I don't know if any of you guys remember that segment. I think it was on the old school edition of Raw. Record was called back in 2015, right before the Royal Rumble. That's when the APA, there was New Age Outlaws, and who was it? DX in the ring? I can't remember who the other team was in the ring with them, but New Age Outlaws came out pretty much saying, so we got the Thoroughbreds and the I forgot what else they called their team. And then they look at the Ascension and said, so I just got one question. Who invited the jackasses? And then they just started, beating the crap out of the Ascension. And that was, even though the Ascension won that match at the pay-per-view, at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view that year, that was just the start of the burial of the Ascension, as the Ascension has gotten nowhere since then. And it is such a shame that happened. But I just thought of that. So, we should be saying, that's why I want to say the Road Dogg, kind of like, it feels like, we have Ryan Ward, who's great here. We have, I don't know, who other head writer we know that is actually pretty good at writing. And there's Road Dogg. So I just got one question for them. Who invited the jackasses? Which is Road Dogg, pretty much I'm referring to. But yeah. So anyways, I had to get that off my chest. Oh, and also, before we get to the main card, who saw HBK dressed up as Colonel Sanders? I am not laughing because I thought this was funny. I did not think this was funny. This just shows what, okay, WWE just tries to kiss up to us even more by having part-timers come back just to gain attention. You went even over the edge this time with having HBK dress up as Colonel Sanders. Why? Why are you doing this? Why? I don't even want to go that far. And I just had to get off my chest. Not going to say that. Let's get into the main card. And right away, we start off with the match that I was probably the most worried about. And Robbie, you know what I'm talking about. John Cena versus Baron Corbin. And yeah, TN Kupar, I wonder how much WWE did pay HBK to do that. Because I sure would not do that at all. No way. You couldn't get me to do that, especially on a show like that in front of the millions. But anyways, John Cena and Baron Corbin. For my polls, I had 7 votes. 43% said Cena. 57% said Baron Corbin. So whoever voted that had the right idea behind it. Well, let me say this way. I knew it was coming, and when it happened, I'm like, yeah. So last week, Baron Corbin had the Money in the Bank briefcase. And, I feel, okay, this feud with Cena is going to help push Corbin even more to give him more momentum going into, so that he'll probably cash in his Money in the Bank at SummerSlam and win the title off of Nakamura. Because to me, it felt like, yeah, I mean, him and Nakamura's feud was okay, but did feel like they had unfinished business. So I could have seen this feud continuing by adding the WWE Championship. So, last week, we have Corbin coming out, attacking Cena, interrupting his match with Jinder, and Corbin starts walking away. I'm like, why did he just walk away and not even tease a cash-in? Looks at his briefcase, looks back, goes to cash in, Cena distracts him, Jinder rolls up Corbin for the Royal victory. And right then, that's when I snapped. I'm like, oh, because the thing that made me mad for, because who was involved in it? Super Cena. And as I keep saying, I don't know about you guys, I have not enjoyed Cena's run since he came back on July 4th. He's had a pointless feud in the match with Rusev at Battleground. I mean, the only thing he's done good is he helped put over Shinsuke Nakamura clean. Clean! Shinsuke Nakamura beat John Cena clean, but he couldn't. Not yet. But he, this match, I knew this was a hit or miss for Baron Corbin. Corbin needed this win, or else I felt Corbin was screwed. And here's what I was hoping for. John Cena coming out first. Corbin coming out and just destroying him. Baron Corbin should be angry because John Cena screwed him out of his Money in the Bank contract. Not just that, not just the W Championship. Now Corbin is not even in good shape to be in the main event scene anymore. John Cena took everything away from Baron Corbin, just like John Cena has done that to the Nexus. He did that to Ryback. He did it to Bray Wyatt. He did it to Rusev. Well, not that bad to Rusev. We'll get to him shortly. And then Corbin just comes out to his new theme song, which, honestly, I'm not completely for it. I don't feel like it quite fits Corbin. But with that fire, it shows that this is what's really happening to Corbin, burning up. Corbin just walks out his normal entrance with the arms out, gets to the ring, just starts barking at Cena. I'm like, why are you not tearing this man to shreds? This man took everything away from you. You're broke now because of this man. And it just felt like Corbin was in there, and deep down, Tom, whatever the heck his real name is, Baron Corbin's real life name, he knew he was losing. He knew that his momentum was going down big time. It just got cut off like that. Last week, I thought he was doing great. Then just one small segment, boom, he's going down, down. And then this made me go down even worse because he lost. He lost clean. And what also ticked me off was he got hit with just one AA and he didn't kick out. Him and Cena had a decent match earlier in the year. He lost to an AA. But what made me really mad, Jinder Mahal kicked out of the AA last week on SmackDown. Baron Corbin couldn't. And once again, John Cena, who's apparently going to be going to Raw, I think Corbin said in a backstage interview earlier today that, he's going to hurt Cena and send him packing pretty much. You didn't do that. I mean, Cena's rumored to be being taken part in No Mercy next month, and we're sticking to a little bit more to Raw. But this could have been like a reason for Cena to send him packing and going over to Raw without making it obvious, just listening to the rumors. But again, John Cena does his old stuff, burying superstars. And you know what? Here's the thing. I respect John Cena as a person, but when he's Super Cena, I do not like that gimmick. So you know what happens whenever you bury superstars? You know what happens when you cut off the Lone Wolf's momentum right away? You want to know what happens? Super Cena, you just made the list. Keeping that there because I might need it a little bit. But yes, basically, long story short, Baron Corbin lost clean. Let's move on. So then the next match was Natalya and Naomi for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. It was an average match. It was not terrible. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was still a solid, decent match. And yes, Robbie, the whole "Where's your briefcase" chants were going on. And TN Couponer says, and also thank you, Chris Johnson, as well. TN Couponer says, I hope Baron Corbin gets SmackDown by attacking Road Dogg. Yeah, sure, go for it. What do we have to lose? And Cena did bury the Nexus. If I mentioned that before, I'm sorry. Robbie says, I wish Chris Jericho would put this horrible SummerSlam show on the list. We'll get to that in a little bit for my case. But anyways, back to the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match again. Solid match. Like nothing like stands out of the blue. But it was good for what it was. My polls, I had 40% saying Naomi, 40% saying Natalya, and only 20% saying Carmella's going to cash in. I thought it was going to happen too, but I felt like it would have been a little too obvious if it did happen tonight. So we're waiting on that to see what happens. And it was the 20th anniversary, I believe, they're saying, of Bret Hart winning his first championship, I believe it was. I can't remember for sure if that's what it was. But Natalya won with the sharpshooter. So, I mean, as I keep saying, Natalya's been somebody who has been built where, she's not around to bury superstars, but she does put people over and she gets wins at good moments. And this was the case where I thought, okay, it'd be okay for seeing Natalya win. I thought I was predicting Carmella to cash in, but she did not. But I'm cool with Natalya being SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Again, SmackDown Live has done SmackDown Live has done a great job utilizing all these women, making them all feel like, well, except for Lana, making them all feel like that they can easily be SmackDown Women's Champion. And that's what they did, and that's why I'm completely fine with Natalya winning the title right here. Robbie says, hey, Mike, WWE saw your polls on Twitter and changed all the results on the spot. Oh, well, yeah, they probably did. And it's just a shame. Wonder if Road Dogg saw those. We'll have to wait and see. And then next, though, let's keep moving here. Next, we got this horrible, horrible match between Big Show and Big Cass, the Castle, with Enzo locked in a shark cage. Here's the thing about this match. I excluding take away from the shark cage. I actually was kind of hoping after the whole split of Enzo and Cass, um, that they were going to at least have this feud, a good starting feud for Big Cass and Singles feud, because I personally felt that Big Show did a great job putting over Braun Strowman. But with Enzo still being involved in this feud, I did kind of feel, and no offense to me, like when they first split them up, Enzo's kind of some pretty good serious promos. But when he was being the annoying brute he was, like he was tonight, it just hurt. And I think what really did hurt was the fact that this match was on Raw a couple weeks ago in Pittsburgh, PA, which I was at that event. It was a main event, and it just didn't feel like a main event. It felt like it's just a segment that should have been like, in the middle of the show. That triple threat between Roman, Braun, and Joe should have been the main event. That's what started to kill this feud for me. And it's a shame because I feel like, despite the fact I'm glad Big Cass won, which actually in my polls, I had 7 votes on this. 57% said Big Show, 43% said Big Cass. But I'm glad Big Cass won. But this match is awful because, first off, Enzo took his shorts off and put like oil all over himself just so he can slip out of that shark cage and just get involved in the match. But it didn't matter. And Big Cass laid him out, and then he had to lay out Big Show with 2 big boots. But it seemed like the story was more focusing on the fact that Big Cass was focusing more on just the damaged hand of Big Show, which in some ways kind of does make sense, but that was just flat boring. These are 2 big men that, I wanted to see just go at and try to tear each other apart, just like Big Show and Braun Strowman did. That's what I wanted to see for this to help elevate Big Cass. It did not really help Big Cass at all. And yeah, he's cut some pretty good promos since he's turned heel. The one he cut last week, and yes, T and Couponer, I hope you don't have nightmares tonight either. And yes, Robbie, well, it's the big slow. Yes, it was just a drag, a very big drag. But yeah, Big Cass gets the win. We'll see what's next for Big Cass. Hopefully this feud does not continue, and this whole shark cage thing doesn't continue as well. Maybe send Enzo back down to NXT. Who knows? Big Cass, I think Big Cass will be all right, but this feud didn't put him over as well as I had hoped it would. Let's talk about the next match. I did not think anything could piss me off even more than Baron Corbin getting buried by John Cena. Well, I was wrong. Because there were 2 more things that happened tonight that really, the show was garbage the way it was, but there were 2 more things that happened that really stuck with me that pissed me off even more. Let me find the polls for this one. Aha! 3 votes. And they were accurate because they all voted for this person. And I don't blame you. 4th match tonight we had was a match that I felt could be this match I felt could be a good way to get somebody back on track, or it could just make things even worse. I'm talking about Rusev and Randy Orton. I don't know about you, but this might have been the worst match of the night. Was this even a match? Randy Orton comes out, does his usual pose, and right away Rusev is doing what I wanted Baron Corbin to do. A pre-match beatdown. Orton didn't even have that parka or vest off yet, whatever. He never took it off at all. He had this nice beatdown, setting up for the match to start. Rings the bell. 6 seconds later, Rusev's down with an RKO. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton buries Rusev. And you think about it, this whole build-up, Rusev never looked good at all. Every night, Orton hit an RKO out of nowhere, which, I'll be honest, they were cool to see, but Orton didn't need this. Randy Orton continues to look even more boring as a babyface since he burned down the Wyatt family compound, which that was awesome. I love that. But it just brought back this bland babyface character. Ugh. And it's buried Rusev. And I heard rumors after this match that apparently Rusev did request for his release. If that's the case, Rusev, I don't blame you. Go somewhere else that's going to make you happy. Go somewhere else where people are actually going to do something with you and help put you over. Because this is not working for you, man. And it's a shame. And I feel it all started back whenever Rusev's leaks of him and Lana getting engaged. They got him back on track last year by putting the U.S. title on him just to feed him the Roman Reigns, which could have been okay if they would have booked Reigns as a better U.S. champion. But the fact also, I remember we talked about this in the year in review awards video I did with Daniel Gaiza about how they pretty much were just fighting over the fact that Roman just came out and just pushed Rusev into Lana, who fell face first into their wedding cake. Rusev has nothing to prove now, really. And what makes no sense is when he first got moved over to SmackDown, I thought this was excellent. This is going to get Rusev back on track. Rusev was cutting these was still away with the shoulder injury, and he was cutting these promos away, saying I want to be given a WWE Championship title shot at Money in the Bank. If not, I'm not showing up to SmackDown. And then he said that I'm going to be there next week to man answer on Shane McMahon. And if I don't get it, I am not coming to SmackDown Live. I will stay here, go back to Bulgaria. What happens? He never gets the match. We never get an answer from Shane McMahon. And he showed up on a July 4th Raw to be set up to be buried by Cena in a flag match. Oh, I'm sorry. I see him say, an old school flag match. Where I was like, but yes. Live chat. Enzo doing his best Joey Ryan impression. Yes, exactly. T and Coupon are having more fun with these live streams tonight than watching the pay-per-view. Oh, definitely. Get the show out for Corbin and Rusev. Yes, Blandy Borton and Rusev versus Ibushi is money match. Yes, take my money now. I would so love to see that match. But they're not going to do it because WWE says that's too big of an idea. No, Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn thinks that's not that worth it. Don't worry about it. But yes, Randy Orton buries Rusev. And actually, you know what happens whenever your character is really boring? You know what happens? It looks like you don't even give a crap. Because most of Randy Orton's matches, since he's been back, he has much of a crap. Especially at WrestleMania, and especially, I don't know, his feud with Jinder Mahal. You know what happens? Blandy Borton, you just made the list. Yep, I'm going to keep getting used to doing that tonight. So the next match, what was the next match? I think it was the Raw Women's Championship between Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks. Let me see. I had 7 votes on this. 57% said Alexa, 43% said Sasha. It was a decent match, but to me it felt like a match between them on Raw. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it just didn't feel like it was that special a match. It just felt like a match on Raw. So, not going to hate on it, but it was all right. Sasha gets the win after doing the bank statement on Alexa Bliss. Alexa taps out. Moving on, Sasha's the Raw Women's Champion. Hopefully getting a longer title run. Glad to see her finally also win the title on pay-per-view, since last year when the whole hot potato thing, she only won them on Raw and not on pay-per-view. So glad Sasha's champion. That's all we got to say about it. Same thing I got to say about the next match as well, with the Demon Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. It was pretty obvious who's going to win this match, but I did like the entrances, though, especially for the Demon Finn Balor as well, making his return with Bray Wyatt. He's got the whole world in his hands and the whole blood thing on the wall. I'm sorry. As I said last week on Raw, and they said it again tonight, the acidic liquid, because you can't say blood. So, but yeah, on my poll at 50-50 out of 8 votes for this match, but I knew it was going to be Finn Balor. I mean, despite the fact that they gave the match away on Raw, I felt that they did give at least not amazing, but a good reason to have this match again on SmackDown. Wow, on SummerSlam with the with bringing out the demons. And yeah, as Robbie said in his review as well, I am definitely a little worried that they would lead to a House of Horrors match, No Mercy. Wouldn't want to see it, especially with how bad it was at Payback. TN Couponer says, during the Orton Bray feud, thought they would have a double turn by heel Orton and turning Bray face. Exactly, that's what they should have done, especially after Orton won the Rumble. They should have done that, but that's not what it did. Mike, can you share your thoughts on my belief that they may do Balor and White House of Horrors? Oh, yeah, definitely, Robbie. And I do agree because, the first match they had, it was, just normal Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. And then Bray Wyatt trying to get the one-up on Finn by bringing out the demons in Bray, but Finn's like, I'm going to bring out the demons in me. So this match felt like it was in Finn's advantage. In order to make it Bray's advantage, to take him to his world, the House of Horrors. Again, I'm not for the idea. I know Rob's not for the idea. Probably not TN Coupon either, because the House of Horrors match was just, it wasn't the worst I've seen, but it still wasn't that great to me. It's not something I would want to see again. And also, it'd be too soon to do that again, to me, in my opinion. Do it again whenever it matters more, make it better, but we're not doing it all because it wasn't really that great. But yeah, that's what I gotta say on that match. And then I believe next was the Raw Tag Team Championship match. Okay, let's get to a match I actually did enjoy, because I knew that things were going to get better after the start we had, except for one match. But things did get better as the show went on, even though it was hard for me to care, but I was trying to at least look at the positives and enjoy it. This is a match that I did enjoy. It was the match of Cesaro and Sheamus versus 2/3 of the Shield, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. We weren't sure what was going to happen this match. Were Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose going to be able to stay on the same page, even though they did kind of like make their truce and thought, oh, we're good to go last week on Raw. But it's going to be the case. I thought a win here would be good, giving Ambrose and Rollins a lengthy title reign when they build some tension eventually. As Robbie, you said in your review, I agree, some tension. And I say drop the title to the Revival when the Revival come back from Scott Dawson's injury. And then that's when Ambrose turns heel. And then Rollins and Ambrose will have Rollins and Ambrose will have a match at WrestleMania with the roles reversed, which I think would be great because these two always put on great matches. They had a great feud. 2014 is my favorite. 2015 wasn't bad, but I still enjoyed 2014 a little bit better. They had a little bit of one last year. They had a couple matches on Raw and SmackDown during the draft. And, oh, I'm sorry, I said draft. I can't say draft. I have to say Superstar Shakeup. But they had decent matches again to build to the Shield triple threat at Battleground. And speaking of this match, also as is being mentioned in the live chat, this match, one really funny moment was in this match. Cesaro went into the crowd because they were playing with the beach ball in the crowd. Cesaro went into the crowd, grabbed, and he flew in the crowd. As we always say, if you ever think one thing about Cesaro, he can fly. I can wonder how fast this man can run a mile. He ran to the crowd, ran right back into that beach ball, and ripped it up. Talk about getting heat. You just did a good job getting heat there, Cesaro. Great work. But this match was excellent. Both these teams, hard-hitting, brought the best out of each other. Again, we were wondering a story where Ambrose and Rollins could be able to stay on the same page for a while. Ambrose was knocked out cold. Rollins was taking the beating. Ambrose got in. We had a couple near falls. We didn't get a bro kick, though. We had Cesaro try to get the Gotch neutralizer on him. And again, it was a really fun match. It lived up to my expectations, honestly. And it ended with Seth Rollins hitting that random knee strike. He's using his finisher into Ambrose hitting Sheamus with the dirty deeds. 1, 2, 3. And Cesaro and Sheamus are no longer tag champions. We now have Ambrose and Rollins. Rollins is now a 2-time tag team champion. Dean Ambrose is his first tag champion, which reason why I wore his shirt today, because one, I knew he was going to become a Grand Slam champion tonight, as he's the first Shield member to win the Grand Slam champion, which I think is good, because when that turn does happen from Dean Ambrose, that's one thing Ambrose is going to be able to make a case. Like, I am the only Shield member to be a Grand Slam champion, because let me think here. Rollins has Both Rollins and Reigns have not won the Intercontinental title. They won everything else except for the Intercontinental title. Before tonight, Ambrose had not yet won the tag titles, which he got it tonight. So I knew he was going to make an impact tonight on the show. That's why I wore his shirt tonight. And, yeah. And we see here Rollins sporting the NWO Wolfpack colors tonight. Yep. And he thought Rollins and Ambrose would help Reigns win the world title. It would have been interesting, but I do want to hopefully see Reigns, team up with them sometime before they drop the tag titles over the next several months, just to see what happens. And yeah, we had 75% say Ambrose and Rollins would win, and 25% say Cesaro and Sheamus would win. But yeah, overall, this was a good match. I really enjoyed it. Really lived up to my expectations. And yeah, that's that one. I had a good time with this match. And then we had the United States Championship match, which I thought was also, for the most part, a good solid match. It wasn't the match of the night, but I felt it was probably one of the better matches these two teams have had. AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. I had 12 votes on this one. 92% said AJ Styles, 8% said Kevin Owens, and Shane McMahon, the special guest referee. I like I like this match. I thought I lived with his expectations, and it did have throw in here and there with Shane McMahon getting involved, pushing the barriers of, Shane has had his previous issues with AJ. Now we're building tension also with him and Kevin Owens. And it has a couple good near falls, and it was played out well too, as well for Shane. Shane, let me see, he missed Owens hit one pop-up power bomb on Styles, but it took Shane a few minutes to get over there because Styles had just squashed Shane between him and Kevin doing that 450 splash, and AJ kicked out of the pop-up power bomb, and then Owens pushed Owens pushed AJ into Shane, knocked him out of the ring. AJ did have Kevin in the calf crusher, and Owens did tap out, but Shane didn't see it. AJ was pissed off about that. And, Shane did say, if anything happened, I had to, get involved, and I would. And I like how, Shane did get involved when he had to, but then when he didn't have to, he was still being a fair referee. Mike mentioned Owens' hilarious comment about falling off the bill. I think he may have said that towards the end of the match. I can't remember it, but yes, there was one time where KO got really mad. I think it was towards the end after KO thought he won when he hit the second pop-up powerbomb on Styles, but then he didn't see that that Styles had his foot on the rope, but then he saw it after he did the 3 count. And then Owens thought he won, but then he starts yelling at Shane, pretty much saying, you jumped off buildings, you jumped off Hell in a Cell, you jumped off this and that. Oh, yes, that was hilarious. Owens is really good at talking trash in the ring when it comes down to it. And it was the same story tonight. But Owens lost. AJ Styles got him with the phenomenal forearm and the Styles Clash. It's probably does end the feud between these two. I wonder what's next for AJ Styles. And then it's probably going to start teasing a feud between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, which, I'd be okay with it. Something fresh. Something new. Why not? Let's see you go at it. Man, where is Jericho? What the hell? My boss. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Probably not until the end of the year or the beginning of next year, I'd say. His one-off little appearance a few weeks ago, but we'll see what happens if Jericho comes back. All right. Let's talk about this match. The third thing that really pissed me off tonight. I mean, I can kind of say, the match between Big Show and Big Cass was also up there, but I was expecting it to be either good or bad, but this made me really mad. I cannot believe this. This one I was just hungry for a certain result, just like I was with John Cena and Baron Corbin. I'm talking about the WWE Championship match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Jinder Mahal. 4 votes on this. I had 75% saying Shinsuke, 25% saying Jinder. I am just so ready. I was so ready to see Nakamura get his first WWE Championship and finally get that belt off Jinder Mahal, which, again, I want to say hasn't been terrible, but it is not enough for me to want to see Jinder continue to be a WWE Champion. And I just want to see him get that belt off as soon as possible because he was not winning matches, and all of a sudden he goes to SmackDown. He's winning matches and winning the WWE Championship. It does not make any sense to me. Why all of a sudden give this guy such a big push? What, they're trying to promote India? I understand that, but it's hurting your product big time. And I swear, if Great Khali came out again, just like he did at Battleground, I'm not even joking, at Battleground, when I was watching the ending, and when Great Khali came out on my TV, I walked right out of my bedroom door, went to the bathroom, went to the toilet, because I was this close to throwing up. I was going to throw up. If that would have happened again, I literally asked Dan before his match started. I said, Dan, if need to be, where is the nearest bucket or toilet at? Just in case if this happens, because I do not want to see, Jinder retain his championship. The match itself, kind of slow pace. Didn't seem like no one really went out too hard there. It felt like I was watching the main event of WrestleMania 32 again, because it felt like we were just going through the motions, honestly. And when the St. Bros came in, Shinsuke just tossed them all over, led to Jinder Mahal putting Shinsuke into the Colossus. And Shinsuke Nakamura, my friends, has suffered his first clean loss. Well, I mean, technically it wasn't quite clean, but still, Shinsuke Nakamura suffered his first one-on-one loss on the main roster to Jinder Mahal. Why did they bring Jinder Mahal back? Why are they doing this to us? Why are they really trying to piss people off like this? They know Jinder Mahal is not a strong champion. I'm sorry. It was time to drop it right here. He should have dropped it before SummerSlam. I don't care if you had given that belt back to Randy Orton. I would much rather have Randy Orton come into SummerSlam as WWE champion than Jinder freaking Mahal. They didn't do enough, in my opinion, to make me want to see Jinder Mahal headline SummerSlam as WWE champion. Live chat. Owens is such a great dick heel. Yes. Yeah, one finisher. That's it. Oh, well. And TN Coupon, at least we didn't see Great Khali versus Orton. Yes, that is true. I probably would have rather seen this than Great Khali and Orton. But still, this just frustrated me. That's all I got to say. But then let's get to the match of the night. By far. That is the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman versus Samoa Joe. I had 7 votes on this. 14% said Brock, 43% said Roman, 14% said Braun, 29% said Joe. First off, just so you're wondering what my pick was for this match. Here's my order of how I want people to win from bottom to top. The last thing I wanted to see was Brock Lesnar retain, because I would rather see it on a full-time wrestler, not a part-timer. Then Roman Reigns, which was my last resort to see winning. My second pick would have been Braun Strowman, but I felt this match was Samoa Joe's win, with the great build between him and Brock. But this match was awesome. Like, this match made me feel like that, like fighting through those first 3 hours or so. Well, yeah, first 2.5, 3 hours since, except for the WWE Championship match. Most of the matches later in the night weren't too bad. Again, the ones my top 3 matches tonight were definitely this one, number 1, probably the Raw Tag Title match, number 2, and Styles and Owens at number 3. But this match, no doubt about it, stole the show. And I just really enjoyed this match. Braun Strowman, though, was the highlight of this match. He took Brock Lesnar out. He slammed him through 2 tables with that running power slam. He also threw a chair at Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, taking him out with steel chairs as well. And then he threw the other announce table on top of Brock Lesnar. So bad that Brock Lesnar had to be taken out on a stretcher, but would later come back. But if you wanted to, by quality of who looked the best in this match tonight, it was definitely Braun Strowman. I retweeted Robbie's tweet of Braun Strowman as a WWE Hall of Famer. Most definitely he is. Most definitely. Well deserved after tonight. And honestly, I've been tossing between back and forth of either Joe or Braun as so far being my superstar of the year. After his performance, which Joe did good tonight too, don't get me wrong. But after Braun's performance tonight, it's definitely gotta be more towards Braun now. And I think this could also really set up between a one-on-one match down the line between Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar. My goodness. If anything, why would, Brock Lesnar won by pinning Roman Reigns, but it's obvious he wants to get revenge on Braun Strowman. It's obvious. It's going to be awesome when those two collide. But yeah, Brock did win this match, as I just said. But I mean, despite the fact that he was the last person I wanted to see win this match, I was still okay with how he won this because he pinned Roman clean, not Joe, not Braun. Roman, which that was if Brock was going to win, that was the best way to do it. Because now, honestly, Roman doesn't have any excuse to want to face. Well, he's probably saying, "Oh, if it's ever Brock and I one-on-one, I can beat him." For most of the rest of this match, it was Roman and Brock one-on-one towards the end of this match. You know, Roman did have Brock in the palm of his hand. He didn't lose by distraction. He won by bad luck with his own bad luck with Brock Lesnar hitting the F5 on him. And Roman Reigns couldn't even kick out of one F5. Wait, did he kick up an F5? No, he did. I think it was Roman saved Braun from being pinned by the F5, I believe it was. No, I'm sorry. It was Joe who the F5. Live chat. Let me see here. Strong was the man in that match. He deserves one-on-one with Brock. And yes, we could see Braun and Brock in Survivor Series. I don't know. That's possible. Maybe a fatal four-way. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe I No Mercy as well. But yeah, definitely one-on-one Brock and Braun. It has to happen because Braun Strowman was just the man tonight, taking Brock out with the chairs. I mean, not the chairs with the. Well, we took out Roman and Joe with the chair and the steel steps. We took out Braun with the tables. But yeah, just a great match. It is a SummerSlam classic. It added the show that was complete garbage on a good note. So yes, my match of the night, fantastic. Robbie says, "Do you guys see Strowman in the WWE Championship commercial? I'm not finished with you." Yes, they need to add that. I forgot who it was. Somebody showed me a fan made video of Braun Strowman's theme song. They need to add that. I'm not finished with you into it. They had the whole burn it down thing and Seth Rollins theme song, which I think is pretty sweet. The Usos rap in their theme song now. That is awesome. If they would add that into Braun Strowman's music, that would be quite epic. But yes, guys, that is it. Thank you to Mina Boss, TN Coupon, and Robbie One Kenobi for tuning into this review live. If you're tuning into this review after it's been posted, leave your thoughts down in the comments section as well. Let's now go with what grade would you give this show? On my Twitter right now, I posted this right after I finished up watching the show. Let's see what we got here. I have two polls I want to reveal here. What grade would you give SummerSlam? Wow. Shocking, we have high results for this. 40% said A or B. 40% said C. Okay, that's not too shocking. C's good. A or B? I put A or B because you only do 4 results in a Twitter poll, and I wanted to include F as well. Only 7% said D, and 13% said F. Very low-rated show. Could possibly be the worst pay-per-view of the year. Oh, yes, that's right. Jon Stewart didn't show up tonight. Thank goodness that didn't happen, or else that would have been atrocious. But, yeah, if I can give this show a grade, because, I mean, I didn't watch the pre-show, couldn't count that. Well, the Usos having a good match, I'll count that as well. But the Burials, the matches that were like average, like C plus matches to me. Again, the top 3 matches again to me were definitely the Fatal 4-Way at number 1, number 2, the Raw Tag Title match, and number 3, the United States Championship match. I'll stick with what I said in the live chat with Robbie and give this a C minus, like a 70%. Yes, my polls were rigged. Rob says, if he did, I can hear it now. We wasted the good surprise on you. Nice. But yes, that's my grade for the show. I want to give it a C minus. Again, let me guys know what you think down in the comment section as well. Thank you for all who tuned in to watch this live review. I know I went on and ranted a little bit as well, but it's just what needed to happen. Please be sure to click that like and subscribe to my channel for more content to come to this channel as well. Depending on my schedule this week, I don't know if I'm going to give it if I'm going to watch any of Raw and SmackDown this week. I know probably not Tuesday night because I have plans Tuesday night. I'm going to be going to a funeral service for an old teacher of mine. Rest in peace. But tomorrow night, I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, this show really. I know a lot of people aren't not going to want to tune in to watch any W television show this weekend. I may just watch it, and if there's anything that was worth discussing, I'll just do like a little bit of like a talking points video and something that's like a full review. But yes, I'm tired, guys. It's 1:15 in the morning. I gotta get to bed and get clean. But yeah, thank you guys again for tuning in. Nice meeting you. Also, TN Couponer tonight as well. Again, please click that like, subscribe for more content on my channel. You guys can follow me on Twitter also at DemandAirboy93. I forgot to leave it in the description below. I'll add it in after I finish this video as well. The link to my Twitter. Again, it's DemandAirboy93. And stay tuned for more content coming to this channel. All right, guys. It's been a long day. I'm tired. Getting ready to bed. Getting ready to go to bed. Yes, definitely also enjoy the eclipse as well tomorrow. And yes, thank you guys for tuning in. All right, guys. I've had enough. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Peace, guys.